For the captain and crew of the B Ladybug, nearly every day is the same. They are abandoned seafarers, and they have been stranded on their vessel for almost a year. There is little to do, no money to get home. They haven't been paid for the past 6 months. All this uncertainty is taking a heavy toll.
Sir, I'm so worried because we cannot get our money because our company is bankrupt. Then I'm worried also about my family for their daily needs. And my son is born on March 25. Now his first birthday that I've never seen him.
Since the bankruptcy, there's been no one to pay for fuel and wages, and the ship was effectively set adrift. She is now anchored off the island of Malta in the Mediterranean Sea. Paul Falzon of the International Transport Workers Federation has been making the 11-mile journey out to the ship and its abandoned crew for several months. He knows what to expect.
They are very tired, they are devastated, they have news from their families, they are broken without money, mortgage, with banks, education for their children, health problems. The morale is very low, I can tell you.
Welcome.
Captain Fabian Miranda has been a ship's master for 20 years. He never thought the ship owners would put him in a situation like this.
It's never said you're left at your own destiny. They said, as soon as we get the funds, we will send it to you. But that's now 11 months ago.
In April of 2013, the ship left Singapore with cargo bound for Ghana, then sailed to Algeria. After the owners declared bankruptcy, the captain had no further orders or destination, and fuel was running low. The B Ladybug drifted for months off the Algerian coast.
Because then we had to save as much fuel as we could, because if we get stranded without fuel, then we are in deep trouble. So we just stopped engines and kept drifting around.
But they have run out of everything else, from spare parts to stores. The stress is becoming unbearable.
And this is not even normal running, it is filled with tension. Every day it is tension. Like right now I'm tense whether the fresh water is going to come or not. But I cannot do without food and water. That's what I definitely need, positively need.
You're not peace of mind. And sometimes no joking in your companion, because, you know, sometimes my crazy like that. That feel very bad, not condition, no good condition every day.
Several seafarers have been evacuated because of mental distress. One suffered a stroke. Their financial situation is desperate. Most have been forced to take out loans to support their families back home.
16 months waiting. And then my family also wait for me to come back. But instead of come back, I'm still here, I'm stuck.
The government of Malta, with the support of the ITF, is doing what it can, providing fuel, food, and fresh water to the B Ladybug on a regular basis.
This is a humanitarian issue. You have people stranded, abandoned by their owners, okay? Abandoned because they did not give them food, they did not give them salary, and for me, I consider them as imprisoned on the ship. This is imprisonment.
There are thousands of ships at sea every day. And the shipping industry in general has a very good record, I would say, both in terms of safety and in terms of generally good ship owners meet their employment arrangements and their employment obligations. The issue of abandonment is not, in a sense, it's not an everyday occurrence. But when it does happen, it has such huge and far-reaching consequences for seafarers and their families that for the ILO, this is unacceptable. They become unacceptable forms of work. And that is what we are trying to address, that situation can have a solution. And a legal solution is one in which the financial security regime will kick in, and it will be a requirement under the MLC to cover the issue of abandonment, to cover the issue of claims for death and injury, so that we have a long-lasting solution to the circumstances in which a ship owner, for whatever the reasons that may exist, decides to abandon that vessel.
We do believe, obviously, ship owners have responsibilities to seafarers under their contracts of employment, but so do the flag states, and also we believe the states of residency. But we think it's actually very important that the mechanisms to resolve such situations are actually codified.
For now, the abandoned seafarers on board the B Ladybug are pinning their hopes on a court decision in Malta, which could determine if they will be paid and repatriated. But since there is no guarantee when the ruling will come, or if it will be in their favor, many are considering giving up altogether and going home without their salaries.
I actually, let's put it this way, I sleep very little now because it's every day, the thought is always there, what's going to happen next? When are we going to go home? When are we going to get our wages finally and go get off the ship?
Yeah, I feel we are abandoned because no one cares for us except this ITF that helping us.
For now, there is nothing more the seafarers on the B Ladybug can do. They are still waiting and worrying about when they will finally be able to go home.